Hi folks, your favorite echoes-loving Shintoist Reigetsu back again with more unspoken truth regarding the Japanese gods, the Japanese mythology, and Shintoism. In my channel, you will get so many interesting information you will never find anywhere on the web regarding the topics that I have just mentioned and how they have all influenced Japan and her culture. Today, we look at the first couple gods of Japan, the third of the new generation of the Japanese gods, Kami Onanayo, and the first of the Japanese gods who were born with genders, Uhijini-no-Kami and Suhijini-no-Kami, the elder siblings of Izanagi-no-Kami and Izanami-no-Kami. Continuing with our book of mythology, the Kojiki. 次になりませる神の皆は Uhijini-no-Kami. 次に芋 Suhijini-no-Kami. This means in ancient Japanese that the next gods to have appeared were Uhijini-no-Kami and his wife Suhijini-no-Kami. The accents are on the ni and ji, so the correct pronunciations will be Uhijini-no-Kami and Suhijini-no-Kami. They do not hide themselves like all the other previous gods. Focus on the word imo for a sec, which means little sister in present-day Japanese but meant wife in ancient Japanese. They used imo as little sister also, but once someone outside of the family entered via marriage as a wife who tended to be younger, then she was called imo, even though we believe the word tsuma, wife, was also used. So, the word imo had a double meaning and they were not siblings who got married like many misinforming YouTubers would say. Remember how incest sex is strongly rejected in Shinto. Please check out what other sexual preferences are rejected in Shinto by clicking my previous video to understand us better. In reality, we do believe they were the rulers of Japan that came after Kuni no Tokotachi no Kami and Toyokumono no Kami. Please check out my videos on both of them to find out more regarding the first true gods of Japan. Many say Uhijini-no-Kami was the child of these two. Let's dissect their names. Uhijini-no-Kami is the first male god to have appeared in the Japanese mythology and was not Izanagi-no-Kami. U means mud, which comes from the ancient Japanese word uki. Uhiji comes from the word uhihiji, which means the first mud. Ni means near, but in this case means dear or beloved. Therefore, the name would mean the beloved god of the first mud. So, this god will be the godification of mud. Why would you want to deify mud, you might ask? Because it's ultra important also for agriculture, for avoiding continuous monocropping, which negatively affects soil fertility and its physiochemical properties, leading to a decline in crop productivity. That was a mouthful. Bringing fresh mud from a nearby river and adding it to the farm made the soil rich again. Curiosity regarding this god. Doesn't he kinda sound like Adam, the first man made from soil? Uhijini-no-Kami is the first male god to have appeared in the Japanese mythology in charge of mud. Really makes me wonder regarding the similarities between Shintoism and Christianity again. Please check out my video on them to find out more. Suhijini-no-Kami is the first goddess to have appeared in the Japanese mythology and not Izanami-no-Kami. Su here means sand, coming from the word suna. Hiji, like I have already mentioned, would mean mud, but not the first mud in this case, and you already know what ni means here. The name would mean the beloved goddess of sand. So, she will be the godification of sand. Why deify sand? Because it too is also important for agriculture, which helps in soil drainage. These two new gods were in charge of mud and sand for the gods and the people of Japan to live in and with, and to help Izanagi-no-Kami and Izanami-no-Kami once they finished creating Japan. The spirits or the mitamas of these two gods were going to be within the mud and the sand of Japan once she appeared later on. They are also the gods within the embankments, as the combination of mud and sand is what made the embankments in ancient times. Mud and sand are so sacred here that they even give you the divine sand in some shrines like in Anamori Inari Jinja.
Think where we'd be without sand.
Sand! Sand!
These two lovebirds are indeed the perfect couple coming from the perfect combination. They only appear just this once in the Kojiki, and they are the fourth gods to have appeared in the Nihon Shoki, called Uhijini-no-Mikoto-sama and Suhijini-no-Mikoto-sama. In a scientific term, these gods will be the planet Jupiter. Here comes the very mysteriously strange thing. Some artists actually draw them as gods with human heads with bodies of snakes, but none of the millions of books that I have just on the Japanese mythology explain this, and none of my Shinto masters were convinced that they are what some artists portray them to be: reptilians. It is true that Japan, since the ancient times, has been a snake worshipper. We, the Japanese, saw them same as dragons and divine. Snakes were the terrestrial dragons, while the Chinese designed dragons were celestial. The majority of times, the ancient shrines were built on top of sacred mountains where we believe that the gods have descended upon. Mountains are stereotypically triangular in shape, which is the same shape of a coiled up snake, which make snakes the symbolic figures of the mountains. And since many snakes live on the mountains, we believe that some snakes are sacred mountain gods or their messengers. Are triangular in shape, made with mud and sand created with these two gods. This just might be the possible reason why these two gods are drawn as snakes sometimes. We have so many snake legends here in Japan, I will be sharing them little by little. Another explanation is that since these two gods are the gods of the building blocks for the houses, the ground, they would also be the gods of DNA, which are the building blocks of life. The double helix of DNA looks like two snakes coiling around each other.
And the Lord said, Whack ye all the serpents which crawl on their bellies, and thy town shall be a beacon unto others. So you see, Lisa, even God himself endorses Whacking Day.
Let me see that.
No.
Where to go visit these gods? Uyuhi-jinja in Matsue City in the Shimane Prefecture. Kuma no Hayatama Taisha in Shingu City in the Wakayama Prefecture. Isagoda-jinja in Matsumoto City in the Nagano Prefecture. Hashogu in Munakata City in the Fukuoka Prefecture. What to be grateful for and to ask help for in these shrines: agriculture, increase in industrial productions, success in businesses, and safety of our homes and businesses, of course. That's it for these gods. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to really understand the Japanese culture from the age of the gods. Coming up, Tsunugui-no-Kami and Ikugui-no-Kami, the Japanese gods who are the
Protectobots, transform to Defensor!
of Japan. Please stay tuned to find out more, and Yasaka to us all.